This wasn't a test anymore. I relaxed and kissed him back. In that moment, the world faded away, leaving nothing but his heat. The doctor said I have to decide today, but I've gone through my entire contacts and I can't borrow a dime to save my mom. Am I really out of options?
The surgery can be arranged right now.
What are your conditions?
Marry me.
You've got the wrong person.
No. You need the money, and I need a wife. You have no other choice.
For how long? 1 year.
You will regret this time limit.
I thought it was just a deal back then. I didn't know I was signing away a life I could no longer control.
Go in.
I'm not here to put on an act.
It started the moment you signed.
Good evening, Mrs. Blake.
Those words felt more real and piercing than the cold contract itself. Rules.
First, act like a real married couple. Second, no questions about the past. Third, never step out of my control.
The third rule is void.
You signed up for my rules.
I signed a marriage certificate, not a bill of sale. He wasn't just controlling me. He was making them or sing her chastity.
Try breaking them.
He was making me willingly step into his cage.
When did Ethan tie the knot?
I clearly didn't belong here. Those stairs were suffocating. No warnings, no questions. But in that moment, I didn't push him away.
My wife.
I knew it was all an act, but coming from him, those words sounded way too real. Suddenly, I refused to be looked down on by anyone. You're late. I suddenly realized I wasn't being dragged here. I was stepping into his world. Is this really my life now?
Can't sleep?
Still getting used to it. What exactly do you want?
You. Lena.
I wanted to fight back, but no words came out, because I knew he was dead serious.
Don't make me take this seriously.
Suddenly it hit me. The real danger wasn't him. It was me. Good night. I thought I won, but I knew the truth. I didn't step back because I wasn't afraid, but because I didn't want to. I still haven't adapted to the pace here, let alone this man's constant overbearing presence.
Steady.
You can let go now.
Are you sure?
He wasn't joking. In that split second, I didn't pull away. I didn't really want him to let go. I can stand on my own! I pushed him away, not because I hated it, but because I almost didn't want to push him away at all. Something to do, just to ignore the uneasiness in my chest.
like this.
I stared at the pan, but saw absolutely nothing. All my attention was on him, on how close he was. His hand wasn't letting go. And the worst part, I wasn't fighting it at all. My breathing steadied. Not out of tension, but because I was actually getting used to him.
That's it.
I suddenly realized the danger wasn't him. It was me getting used to him. I didn't move, not because he told me not to, but because I didn't want to stomach a single bite. I could clearly feel his gaze, like an airtight net, pinned on me the entire time. Why do you keep staring at me?
Confirming.
Confirming what?
If you're going to run away.
You overestimate me.
I don't like uncertainty.
Then don't look. I just got out of the shower when I frozen. Ethan was in my room.
This is my room.
The atmosphere shifted. I just wanted to get past him, to keep my distance. Move. Air was utterly still. I didn't step back. He didn't move. But in that split second, I knew every boundary was crumbling. One more step and everything completely shatters. But I realized I didn't actually want to stop it at all. The dining room was still quiet, but this quiet felt different from the past few days. I could feel it. Ethan's gaze was still on me. What exactly are you looking at?
You.
What's so interesting about me?
Seeing when you'll leave.
Afraid I'll run?
Not afraid. I just dislike uncertainty.
I didn't answer, but in that moment I suddenly realized he cares. That thought unsettled me, and it made me waver. That night, I couldn't sleep. I thought I was just trapped here. But now, I'm actually starting to care about what he thinks. This is far more dangerous than the contract. This was my first time leaving the estate on my own. I needed some air, and I needed to find a little piece of the me I used to be.
Lena!
Daniel!
You look even more beautiful than before.
He was already gone, but that look he gave me before he left, I couldn't read it.
You seemed very happy today.
Just a normal chat.
He touched you.
Are you spying on me?
I'm protecting you. I don't like anyone touching what belongs to me.
For the first time, I realized he wasn't cold-blooded at all. He had just been forcefully What if I see Daniel again?
What are you trying to do?
Didn't you say you hate uncertainty? Here's one for you.
You want to test me?
Yes.
Are you sure you know what game you're playing?
You could always stop me.
Then try it.
The air returned, but my heart was still racing. Suddenly, it hit me. I wasn't fighting back just now. I was anticipating. During rain, it only became clearer. I couldn't calm down at all.
What are you betting on?
Betting on whether you'll lose control.
You win.
If I just moved an inch, it would all be over. But I didn't step back. Didn't even close my eyes. In that moment, I had already made my choice. This wasn't a test anymore. I relaxed and kissed him back. In that moment, the world faded away, leaving nothing but his heat.
Don't test me again.
I didn't say a word, because I knew deep down it was already way too late. Right the next morning, everything seemed way too normal, so normal that it was as if that out-of-control kiss last night never even happened. Are you just going to pretend it didn't happen?
What happened?
The words got caught in my throat because I suddenly realized I didn't know how to define last night. It was a kiss, but it was absolutely more than just a kiss.
What do you want it to be?
He threw the question right back at me. My heartbeat was completely erratic. I didn't know the answer, and I definitely didn't dare to say it out loud.
Then don't define it.
Watching his back, it suddenly hit me. It wasn't he didn't care, he was in absolute control, while I had already begun to completely lose mine. Back, because I really did care that he was watching me. His sphere has been totally off lately. Every time he gets close, he stops right at the edge. What frustrates me even more is, I'm actually waiting for him to cross it. On the screens, it was all me. Every single frame. Have you always been doing this?
Yes.
Are you spying on me?
I need to know exactly where you are.
You're sick.
You care. That's enough for me.
I couldn't fight back because I really did care that he was watching me. It hit me then, he wasn't controlling me, he was getting addicted to me. He didn't press close, but his presence was stronger than any actual touch. What do you want to do now?
What do you think?
I don't want to guess.
Do you still want to test me?
I didn't answer, but I didn't pull away either. I knew it deep down, this wasn't the end. It was the beginning of losing complete control. Everything here was flawlessly exquisite. But the moment I stood there, I knew with absolute certainty I didn't belong in this world.
Who is she?
When did Ethan get married? She doesn't look like she's from our circle.
I hated this feeling, being judged, defined, and forced into a position where I clearly didn't belong.
Ethan.
He paused for less than a second. His hand loosened just a fraction. But that tiny shift was enough to make my heart sink.
Clara.
It was the first time I heard him say a name like that. No control, no commands. It was the sound of someone familiar. Long time no see. That single look carried a natural superiorities, as if evaluating whether I was worthy to stand there. I didn't move, but I knew. For the first time, my place beside him felt completely uncertain. You really got married.
When did you get back?
Yesterday. Just in time for this. Hello? Lena. He's changed quite a bit.
Clara.
Relax, I'm just curious. I couldn't hear what she said, but what stung more than any words was, Ethan didn't pull away. I hope you can adapt to it here? She left, but I was rooted to the spot. Looking at Ethan, I realized with brutal clarity, I wasn't just dragged into this world. I was put here to be compared, and I had absolutely no way to fight dead quiet. I waited the whole way for even a single word of explanation. But he said absolutely nothing. I let out a soft laugh, but that tiny sound only ended up piercing my own heart.
Lena,
What is it?
what are you thinking about?
In that moment, my disappointment was absolute. I gave him a chance, and he still didn't take it. Nothing. The door clicked shut softly, but it felt like severing something completely. I knew deep down that wasn't me being calm, it was a decision. For the first time, I wanted to walk away from his world. If I ask, will you tell me? Morning.
You're hiding.
No, I acted way too normal. But it was exactly this exaggerated normalcy that made the tension in the room even more glaring.
What do you want to ask?
I don't have the right to ask.
You can ask.
If I ask, will you tell me? Then there's no need to ask. His silence was the answer. I knew clearly. I had already taken a step back, while he was still stubbornly standing exactly where he was. Over the next few days, I stopped waiting for him. I stopped lingering in the living room. I shifted my focus back to myself instead of this absurd relationship.
You've been very busy lately.
It's all right.
Lena,
What is it?
you're hiding from me.
No, I'm just following our rules.
What do you mean?
Act like a married couple. And no questions about the past.
Her footsteps were light, but they shattered every defense I had. In that exact moment, I finally realized I wasn't controlling her at all. I was losing her.
Are you checking up on me?
I'm just asking.
You never used to ask.
You're hiding from me.
You just noticed?
Why?
There's no point anymore.
What do you mean?
It means I'm done waiting for things you can't give.
What do you want?
You're asking now? Forget it. Let go.
You say there's no point. Then why are you still here?
Because I haven't left yet. But that doesn't mean I won't.
You're not going anywhere.
Are you sure? You're starting to lose control.
I couldn't deny it, because I felt it too. For the first time, I couldn't completely control the situation, and it was all because
But I knew deep down, after last night, everything had already changed.
Lena,
Yes.
what you said yesterday, were you serious?
What do you think?
I'm asking you.
Yes.
Then what are you still doing here?
I told you I haven't left yet, but you can take it as I'm giving you your final time.
Are you threatening me?
No, I'm deciding for myself.
I care about you.
I didn't expect him to actually say it. Were those words real or just another way to control me?
I'm not used to explaining myself, but that doesn't mean I don't care.
Too late. He didn't try to stop me, but he knew it clearly. For the first time in his life, he was the one doing the chasing. Looking for me.
Come in.
Go ahead.
Don't see Daniel again.
Are you jealous? Then in what capacity are you saying this? I'll answer for you. If it's just a contract, you have no right. If it's something else, you need to give me what it's worth.
What do you want?
I want you to be clear. Do you want me or just control?
I want you.
Then you need to try harder. He didn't chase after me, but he knew very well he was already completely falling for me.
Assume you're free now?
I knew exactly what he meant by that, but I hadn't given him an answer yet.
Go back.
I'm not done here.
Maybe I should just...
Sit.
Let's go.
Let go. We'll chat another day. This time it wasn't him dragging me away. It was me, walking out and leading the rhythm. I won today's battle, but I also knew this was far from over.
Go back.
Why? Can't say it.
Do you really have to do this?
You started this. Come in. Now, tell me.
I don't want you with anyone else.
Then you need to try harder. Looking into his eyes, I knew he finally realized it. He was no longer controlling me. He was chasing me. To the estate the next day, everything seemed back to normal, but the dynamic between us had completely changed. Why are you just standing there? About what you said yesterday. I heard it. It's valid, temporarily.
Temporarily.
You're still on probation.
All right.
It was the first time he accepted my rules. I wavered for a split second, but I knew I couldn't step back. If I did, he'd take control again.
Any other conditions?
Keep it like this. Keep losing control. He didn't chase after me, but he knew it all too well. He was completely wrapped around my finger, utterly and hopelessly. I knew he had been watching me. Are you that free?
You didn't go out today.
Are you watching me?
I'm looking at you.
Seen enough?
Not yet. Are you still trying to hide now?
When did I ever hide?
Are you sure?
You really are losing control. Where are we going?
To meet some people. You are my wife now. Mr. Blake.
I didn't step back this time. Since he gave me this title, I was going to own it.
Your recent decisions are far too risky, including your marriage.
If the outcome is a win, does the process even matter?
Continue. What you did in there, not bad.
Just doing my part. But I clearly, from this moment on, I had officially stepped into his world. Not as a subordinate, but as an equal. Won't be back for dinner today.
Don't make a move right now. She's not part of the plan. I'll handle it.
I don't know exactly what it is, but I know for sure he's hiding something from me.
You went to bed early last night?
Yeah. I won't be back for dinner today.
Where are you going?
Don't you have your own arrangements too? The door closed softly, but in that exact moment, I heard it clearly. A real crack had formed between. I came back earlier than usual without telling him. The moment I opened the door, I knew something was off. You shouldn't have let her get involved.
I'll handle it.
You used to say that too. And the result?
You're back.
Did I interrupt you too?
It's not what you think.
Then tell me, what is it?
I'll handle it.
I see. So I'm just another part of what needs to be handled. It was beautiful. Everything seemed completely normal, but between us, everything was entirely different now. Do you have something to say?
Last night,
You don't need to explain.
you should listen to me.
Whatever you say, it's all the same. Because you already made your choice.
What do you mean?
You chose to keep me in the dark. So now, there's absolutely no need to make me understand.
Lena.
This wasn't an impulse, it was a decision. Every corner of this room used to hold my emotions. But now, they've all faded away.
Where are you going?
Isn't it obvious?
You can't leave.
You're doing it again.
I can explain.
There's no need. You've already said it. You'll handle it.
The door closed so softly. But in that moment, the entire space was instantly emptied. I finally understood. She wasn't testing me this time. She was truly leaving me for good. This was the first time I've looked at her name and had absolutely no idea what to say.
Sir, shall we head back? Find her.
I'm not ignoring his calls to be petty. I just need space to confirm one thing. to see if I can truly leave him for good.
Miles between us, but I feel so close.
Where is she?
You're the addiction that I need.
She didn't show up today, sir.
Blurring the scenery as I rush
Keep
ahead,
searching.
chasing the words that you find
I've looked everywhere, and only now do I realize I can't find her because I never truly knew the whole of her.
I'm closing at this.
Keep looking.
I'm winning the
I will find her.
race. I'm running to
I don't care about control anymore. I only have one thought.
But only I know. I'm using logic to suppress every emotion.
Found you.
What are you doing here?
Come back with me.
You still don't know how to talk, do you?
Then what do you want to hear?
I'm not going back.
Why? You don't want to?
I don't have to explain myself to you.
You don't have to explain yourself to me?
No! Don't you understand? I've already left. That wasn't just anger. It was a final conclusion. For the first time, he had no idea how to respond. Go back.
I'm not letting you go.
Then try me.
This was the first time I shut that world out completely. Because right now, I only belong in front of this door.
I knew he was still there. I'm waiting for him to change.
Lena, this time, I was wrong.
His first time admitting he was wrong. No excuses, no conditions, just the truth.
Whatever you want, I'll learn. I want to be better for you.
No words were needed. In that silent gaze, every rule dissolved, and our world began to reshape itself. He said everything he needs to say. The rest is in my hands. I'm not hesitating. I'm judging. Judging if the man in front of me has truly changed. What you just said, say it again.
I was wrong. I shouldn't have kept secrets, and I shouldn't have excluded you.
And what about the future?
From now on, there's no more handling things. I will tell you.
Come in. We start over. No contracts, no rules,
How do we start?
only if you are willing.
I am.
In this moment, everything changed. Not a contract, but a choice. 3 days later, the same building. The same building. This time, no one led me in. I pushed open these doors myself.
Personal relationships are clouding our decisions, Mr. Blake. This is unacceptable.
Then look at the results. If we win, do your questions even matter?
I realized for the first time that when she decides to fight, she doesn't need my protection at all.
This time, you don't have to handle me anymore, right?
There is nothing left to handle.
In this moment, everyone finally saw it. I am no longer a secret hidden away by him. I am the one standing truly and firm.
Nervous.
Little.
I'm here.
And this is...
My choice.
Is it over?
It's just beginning.
What now?
Now, I'm chasing you.
Then you'd better chase me for a long time. No contracts, no games. Just two people choosing each other. Go slow.
You've been standing there for 3 minutes.
I'm judging
Judging what?
whether this bed is safe enough. It was a contract before. It isn't now.
You're worried about that now? So, are you afraid of me?
What do you think? Ethan. Go slow.
He is part of the decision.
Last time I was here, everyone was guessing who I was. This time, all they see is confirmation. Lena.
You work into you. Your trach less? Well, hi fi monier.
I don't know, Hugh, that's 7 in.
Why didn't you tell me you were coming?
I just felt like it. No explanations, no hiding. This simple gesture was his most direct public announcement.
We need to separate personal relationships from business.
She is not a personal variable. She is part of the decision.
His favoritism was never about private whispers. He gave me the highest form of respect, allowing me to stand right by his...
Sir, we have a situation. Speak. It's Clara. She intercepted the South American project.
Is she coming after you?
It could be you too.
Even better. We'll solve it together.
Let's begin.
In this moment, it's no longer his battlefield alone. The new game has officially begun, and we are each other's strongest allies.
The only way we can save the company.
The pressure is building faster than ever. I'm not here for company anymore. I'm here to join this high-stakes game.
She's cutting our core logistics line in South America. We're going to stall.
It's not logistics. She's hitting the junction points. She wants control, not profit. She's waiting for you to make a mistake. So, that's work. Don't move.
Do exactly what she said. What you just did was dangerous.
So were you. I'm no longer the shadow hiding behind him, or the pawn under his control. In this moment, we are on the same side. Me. I didn't tell Ethan. Some battles I have to initiate myself. Clara. I thought you'd never show up. You've made your move. Did he send you? I came on my own. Do you have any idea what you're up against? I do. But you've underestimated me. I'm not alone. We're not alone. Fine. Let's begin. This isn't a test, it's war. From this moment on, I'm fighting for his empire and my dignity. I felt the tension the moment I walked in. He'd been waiting for a long time, and clearly, he hadn't read a single word of those documents.
Where were you?
I saw someone. Clara. I'm not someone you need to protect. I'm the one who's going to win with you.
Next time, take me with you.
We'll see.
Our South American nodes, they're locked.
My judgment was right, but I underestimated Clara's speed. She didn't wait for us, she went straight for the throat. She's forcing our hand. The more we panic, the more she wins.
Suspend all expansion. Secure the core.
I underestimated her.
You weren't wrong. You just had bad information.
The result is wrong, and I am not going to make excuses for it.
Then win it back.
Fine. I didn't back down. A momentary slip doesn't mean the end. Now, I'm starting my counterattack.
Who proposed this strategy? Kinda now. Right!
I did. Every decision is my responsibility.
You didn't have to do that.
Yes, I did.
It was my judgment.
You aren't behind me. You are beside me.
Then let's win this together.
Of course.
At that moment, I realized he wasn't blocking the arrows because he thought I was weak. He did it because I've become the only equal existence in his world. I had to reevaluate every single lead. Clara must have left a gap. The moment she moved, she left a trail.
Still up?
I found it! I found her weakness! She's locking nodes, but her cash flow can't keep up. She's over-leveraged. If we stall, she breaks. We trap her. Lock her in her own game.
Do it.
This time, I won't let her be faster.
And she won't underestimate you anymore.
The tides turned at that moment. We weren't prey anymore. We were the...
Her capital chain is starting to fluctuate.
It's starting. Execute phase 2. Now. Jep's down. Add another layer. Block her escape.
Do it.
We're back! We've surpassed the original numbers!
I won the first step. This wasn't just about recovering data, it was the first territory I claimed in his world, by my own hand. There's no contempt in their eyes. I'm no longer the shadow that needs protection. I am standing at the very front. We've locked her in. Her funding won't last 3 days. If she continues, she falls first.
Deal has vast times, and if she withdraws,
Then she loses. Ethan gave the stage entirely to me. His silence wasn't a retreat. It was the ultimate support. At this moment, I've finally earned their respect.
You're more dangerous than me now.
Are you scared? I've reached his height, and it gave him a little scare. And that is the perfect balance in our
Eye
relationship.
of the storm with me.
I won today, but I didn't relax. In this game, winning once is just the beginning. I'm already thinking about the next move.
You were beautiful today.
You're just noticing that now?
No, it's just that I'm only admitting it now. In the meeting today, I didn't want you standing that far out front.
Why?
Because I was worried.
Then keep up with me.
At that moment, I realized she doesn't need protection. She's the person meant to stand in the eye of the storm with me.
This isn't about who won or who surrendered. It's about us finally deciding to win the world together.
Something's wrong. Our internal system was synchronized in red last night.
Source of the authorization. It came from an internal key.
It's not thieved, it's bait. She wants us to see this. She's leading us to a misjudgment.
So the real target,
She hasn't moved yet.
she's playing big now. She's trying to force us to lose control. Will you?
No. Lena VO. Clara is serious now. She doesn't just want our money, she wants my sanity. But I know the real game has only just begun. The atmosphere has changed. This isn't professional scrutiny, it's something dirtier, more destructive.
There are rumors online. They're saying you're using your relationship to manipulate projects.
Who leaked it?
Suppress everything. Now.
Don't. The more you suppress it, the truer it looks.
Then what's the plan?
Let it ferment.
Are you sure you can bring this back?
I don't fight battles I can't win. When I front, Clara wants to kill me with public opinion. I'll show her what it means to rise from the ashes.
they are attacking you.
I know.
This isn't a game.
Then what do you want me to do? Just stand on my side.
I'm always here.
This was the first time he lost control because of me. Not for cold numbers. And I know, with him by my side, our counterattack has truly begun. They want to see me hide behind Ethan. But standing here today, I'm telling everyone, this battlefield belongs to me. I'll do it. I'll answer that. First, I make the decisions. Second, I take the responsibility. Third, if the result is a win, the controversy itself is meaningless. Check the data. This is the answer. Lena VO. Controversy is never settled by explanations, but by results. This wave of counterattack, I won.
She moved. It's out.
When was this from?
That's my past, and my only fatal flaw. I thought it was buried, but it became her deadliest thorn.
Is this real?
Yes, it's real.
Seal it. Every channel. Now!
We can't seal it. If she's letting this out, she's prepared suppression.
You are not alone in this.
This time, I must stand out first. I must tear this contract apart with my own hands. For him, and for the reborn version of myself.
To the business. But tonight, I don't care about the numbers. I only care about the person they're trying to destroy with those filthy words.
It started.
You don't respond. I'll handle this. I don't care about your past. I only care about now.
Then you have to face the consequences.
I've already made my choice.
This was the first time I moved toward him in the middle of a storm. At this moment, it's not about protection, it's two souls deciding to survive this wreckage together. Public relations can't fix human nature. They want to see me craft a lie, but I'm only giving them the truth. I'm here to answer. That agreement is real. 3 years ago, I signed it. Because back then, I had no choice.
Need to do is sign here.
What's this?
Just some standard legal jargon.
I wasn't the one profiting. I was being used, and I have the evidence.
You don't need to read it.
I'm not here to defend myself. I'm just telling the whole truth. In that moment, I stopped waiting for judgment and took the initiative back from Clara's hands. I set a 3-year game, torn down by her simple words. Impossible. She shouldn't have had the courage to admit it. Release the second one. Now. She's getting desperate.
This isn't even desperation yet. These are her last few cards.
Then let her play them all. You shouldn't have survived until now. She's starting to lose it. That was the first time she spoke with emotion, and I know a desperate opponent is close to total collapse. Second allegation. Let's look at the facts. It's her ye rebound in more depreciations of Hiver fast. What you saw before was a fragment. The deservi line to the countries of aircraft and have independent meaning than your license. The true controller of these funds, Clara. This is the final answer. Not just the game, but my name has become a footnote to her victory. This isn't just a counterattack. It's a public execution. Fine. Then let's end this. At this moment, the game is truly over. Clara lost more than just a project. She lost her dignity as the master of the board.
It's made its decision.
I know. I've been waiting for you.
All your authorities are suspended. An investigation has been launched. You will be held liable for the funding issues.
Finally.
She was one step faster than me. Book me a flight.
Where to?
Somewhere far away. She didn't lose to me, she lost to a rhythm that was already broken. Her era is over. Ours has just begun. There's no scent of blood in the air. These numbers aren't my shield, they're the throne.
So, who will take charge of the South American sector moving forward?
Me.
You're the center of this place now.
No. I'm my own.
I know.
This isn't the end. No contracts, no dependency, only control reclaimed by my own hands. Here, I am finally my own. VO. Everything is back to where it started. But everything has changed. Without those chaotic files, I can finally be a quiet version of myself. Remember the beginning?
The contract.
Right. We wrote everything down back then.
We don't need it anymore. Lena, Kalmanis.
Why?
Because I won't use terms to keep you.
And if I leave,
I'll chase you.
then you'll be chasing for a long time.
I have time.
No contracts, no terms, only us, in this night where nothing needs to be proven. Choose